Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is for the full moon in Libra. This is a collective reading. Take what resonates, leave what does not. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. All right, so as I'm recording this on the full moon in Libra, because it's today, the 6th of, I was literally about to say January, the 6th of April. Few things as with this energy, because on the board and stuff, and pre-shuffle energy, empathy is going to be huge during going into this period. I feel the reason it will be huge is because there are lots of things that are coming out, and there has been lots of conflict. Five of Wands was one of the cards that came out on the deck. Strange enough, also the Tower came out too in this reading. Now, strangely, on the Pisces money reading, the Five of Wands and the Tower came out, and theirs was on the job drama, which I feel like there's a lot of on the job drama going on for some people, myself included. I literally was in an HR meeting yesterday, so so yeah, on the job drama. But the thing is that one thing T.S. Madison said, I don't know if anybody knows who T.S. Madison is, you can look her up. But she said one day, and it was funny, she said, everybody working gets paid. If you lying about people, you're working. If you gossiping about people, you're working. So on and so forth. She went down the list, you're working. And she said, some of you have been working overtime, and you really gonna get paid. And basically what she was talking about was karma. If you know you've been doing the right thing, this full moon in Libra and then Mercury retrograde that's coming up, because that's the other reason where the conflict is going to come from. You have two major energies, because with Libra is about balance. That is what Libra is about. It's about the scales. In the tarot deck, the Justice card represents Libra, and it's about things balancing out, and it's about karma too. So anything that has been unbalanced for a while, with this full moon energy, it's like, it's going to balance it out. And if it has to balance it out with truths coming out, it will balance it out that way. If it has to balance it out with conflict happening, it will balance it out. And I just heard from my god sister. She literally just texted me. I haven't spoken to her in a minute. And she's a Libra. Go figure. But yeah, and also we're going into Mercury retrograde. So, and that's the other thing too, where with Mercury retrograde, things that have not been closed out properly or things that have not been settled usually come back in. And also it's about nostalgia too, as well. So you are going to hear from people that you probably haven't heard from in a while. For some of you, and I just heard it in my head, you're going to hear from somebody who you had a conflict with and you just weren't speaking. And now they're going to pop up out the blue and be like, hey, how are you doing? There's going to be some of that too. But empathy is going to be huge. Also curiosity. That was something that came up in the pre-shuffle. You need to learn to ask questions. And I feel in this period, it will be more the energy will be more advantageous for you. Where if you kind of were curious, but you didn't fully step out, I feel like you will now. Because Libra is an air sign. Air signs are very curious signs. They like to find things out. They also like to stalk too, but these are minor details. So yeah, shout out to all the air signs, you know. Yeah. So anyways, curious sign. So some of you, regardless of what your sign is or what's in your chart, you may feel more curious to learn new things. That information could lead to an upgrade for some of you. And I noticed that in the money readings where some people were learning new skills and new things. And as you do, that can lead to an upgrade, which was also in this reading. Another thing is be mindful of what you eat too. Be mindful of what you eat. Eating certain foods plays a role. Let's see. So I use multiple decks, and I'm going to go over these quickly. I'm not going to hold you too long because we all got things to do. So I have Attitude of Gratitude, I use the High Vibe deck, I use the Urban Tarot, and I use the Angels of Atlantis. So I use 3 Oracle decks and 1 Tarot deck. Usually I do 2 and 2, 2 Oracles, 2 Tarot, but I decided to do 3 Oracles. So let's talk about the heart of the matter, which these 4 cards are at the heart of the matter. First card is from the High Vibe deck for hard times. Let me see because of the lighting. I'm trying to turn this. For hard times. And let me read this to you. It says, having a hard time with the situation, imagine that person, people, or event being surrounded by sparkly, white, loving light. Make a cocoon of love around them or it. This changes the energy around circumstances, plus it changes you. So this is saying for hard times. In layman's terms, pray for your enemies. Pray for your enemies. That's what this is talking about. Also showing empathy, because with this card, which is from the Angels of Atlantis, this is Archangel Metatron. And this card says mercy. And what this is talking about is showing empathy during this time. There's going to have to be a lot of empathy because I feel like a lot of information is going to come out. Like stuff that people they thought was hidden or was going to stay hidden or would stay hidden. I feel that's going to come out, or that will come out in this particular month of April, with this full moon in Libra balancing the scales and revealing the things that need to be revealed. And with Mercury retrograde, which starts in, I think, 2 weeks, give or take. I'll do a Mercury retrograde reading too. It'll probably be the same energy as this reading, but I'll do one. And with Mercury retrograde bringing the things from the past back in to be resolved, which is also, once you have conversations, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that. That's that truth coming out, is what it's doing. So, and when these truths come out, not all truths are comfortable. But like I said in my HR meeting yesterday, when I was talking to HR about some things that were said, I said, well, the truth is like rain. It doesn't care who it falls on. The truth is the truth. And when uncomfortable truths come out, some people might be in their feelings. And that could be you or that could be them. But regardless, there's going to have to be some type of grace given. There's going to have to be some type of mercy given where you find out things and it's like, really, you did that to me type of stuff. This is where mercy comes in. That way you don't pop off. All right. And then for the other 2 cards, this is the Attitude of Gratitude card. It says, I have the attitude of gratitude for the strength and stability of my mind, body, and soul as I experience and expand into new truths each day. Let me read that again. I have the attitude of gratitude for the strength, stability of mind, body, and soul as I experience and expand into new truths each day. So this is just another confirmation where it's saying you expand into new truths, meaning you're learning new things, going back to the curiosity. And with those new truths, this might bring things to the surface. Truth might bring things to the surface. So keep that in mind. Also, the Page of Swords was at the heart of the matter. This is the tarot card, but on this it says the Hacker. Now, I can speak to this personally. Somebody on my job was stalking me and going through my messages. That's the Hacker. Also, this is air energy, specifically Aquarius, but doesn't have to be. But Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Mine was an air sign. So, yeah. But, again, it isn't just about that. It's about gathering information. So it isn't just about people like spying on other people or whatever. It's about gathering information, being curious. And I feel, again, that is what some of you are doing. Like in the Aries money reading, it was, their bonus money reading, their birthday bonus reading. The title of that reading was Now You're Ready to Teach. And one thing in that reading is that Aries was learning something that they would be able to teach to others. And I feel that they were gathering the information from sources online. This is that type of energy too. where you're like, okay, where can I go to find this course? What video on YouTube can I watch? What question can I ask ChatGPT or whatever? So it's one of those things. And that is being curious. And this is at the heart of the matter. So something is telling me information will play a very big deal in your path moving forward. Now, one thing that I noticed, 2 cards appeared. This was already at the bottom of the deck. This card came out with the 3rd card, but I just set it to the side. And this is the Princess of Disc, or Princess of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, though, was the Queen of Pentacles. And what that was telling me is that you're going to upgrade from princess to queen. And again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. I'm talking about the energy. The Queen of Pentacles is a very capable queen. Someone who manages money well. Someone who has the ability to turn straw into gold. They have the Midas touch, just like the king. So there's going to be some type of upgrade. I feel it will be information related, is what I feel. Now, for another card that came out from the High Vibe deck, this one says, High Vibe Attractions. Attract high vibrations to yourself. Run around the house excited about life. Doing so puts the law of attraction in play. When you want something good to happen to you, moping around the house and complaining will not get you closer. Get excited about something. Pretend to be excited about something. This raises your vibration, makes you feel good inside, and naturally attracts high vibe energies. So this is saying you want to be in a high vibe energy is what you want to be in. For that, if you stay in that high vibe energy, it will bring more things towards you. Now, one thing I want to bring up too, especially with this 5 of Wands card in the conflict, a card that came out during the pre-shuffle was the 2 of Swords. And 2 of Swords, if you notice in this particular deck, it has something at the bottom of the deck. It's hard to see because of the lighting, but you see at the bottom here. When the 2 of Swords came out, it said peace. 2 of Swords can be about making a choice. It can be about blocking. It can be about cutting someone off. It can be about indecision as well. It's air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But in this particular deck, which I told you I go by the energy when I pick a deck, what I'm drawn to. In this particular deck, it says peace. P-E-A-C-E. Peace, not war. So it says peace at the bottom of the deck. I really feel when that came out in the pre-shuffle, that is saying you have to protect your peace by any means necessary. So if you have to block someone to keep your peace and just remove yourself from their energy, so be it. You know, that's what you have to do. If you have to completely cut them out of your life to keep your peace, so be it. That may be what you have to do. So that's going to be up to you, and everything is on a case-by-case basis. Going back to the Tower card, again, this is going to be shocking information coming out where something is finally crumbling. Because again, that's happening, and I'm not trying to make this about me because it's about you. Let me be clear about that. I'm just giving some of my stuff as an example, and I know this is going on with other people. Where what happened with me yesterday, where me and other people were in a meeting with HR, that was a breaking point in a situation that had been festering, that had metastasized, and just went all out of proportion. That was a Tower moment in that meeting yesterday, where all of it, all the secrets and all this other stuff was coming to the surface, is what it was. And pretty much the end result was that we're getting our peace. We no longer have to deal with the shenanigans of other people and what they were doing. So yeah, the conflict, and that's what some of this may bring too, where there's conflict, and there's gonna have to be a Tower moment, because you can't stay in this 5 of Wands energy in perpetuity. You just can't. Everything has to balance out. Nothing stays a certain way in perpetuity. Everything must change. So you can't stay in this. If no one is willing to come forward and do an olive branch or make the first step or do that because everybody's fighting, then the universe is going to say, you know what? Okay, if you can't resolve this, I will put you in a situation where it has to be resolved. And that is what will happen for some of you. I'm not saying you're going into HR to have a meeting with a bunch of people or whatever if you're having workplace drama, like Pisces did in their reading, in their money reading. What I am saying is that the universe is going to be like, okay, something's going to have to come to a head. Now, for others of you, this particular tower is you doing something shocking. Where you're like, you know what? Two of Swords energy, I'm cutting this off. This right here, this Five of Wands. I'm not dealing with that. Life is too short. So I'm done. And you could be walking away. That'll be a tower moment for the people because then they'll see they're fighting with themselves. You've already removed yourself. And once they figure out they're fighting with themselves, they're going to be shocked. So keep that in mind. Now, another card that came out from the Angels of Atlantis, another Archangel Metatron card, is Miracles. Miracles. And this is saying expect miracles. The how can I put this? I'll say definition or meaning. Definition and meaning, however you want to say it. Of this card is saying in order to receive miracles, you have to expect miracles. You have to believe that miracles can happen. If you don't believe in miracles, I mean, what, I don't see anything. So yeah, this is saying expect miracles and they will happen. That's what this is talking about. Now, from the High Vibe deck, this is very important. This one says choices. Choices. And it says, choose the good. Remember, every moment is a choice. What do you choose in this moment? Let me read that again. Choose the good. Remember, every moment is a choice. What do you choose in this moment? Choices. So what are you choosing to do? Are you choosing to stay in conflict with people? Are you choosing to believe in miracles? Are you choosing to protect your peace? Are you choosing to manage your money wisely? Are you choosing to believe in yourself and be thankful? Because that's how I kind of interpret this. So yeah, I honestly believe that if you make the right choices, you'll stay in the right energy. This is, I just heard in my head, this is a reprieve. For some of you, there may have been some type of stagnation, which there shouldn't be as much now if there had been, because we're in Aries season. We had a new moon in Aries. That's a lot of energy to get you to go. If for some of you, if your takeoff was a little bit slower than others, where you feel you didn't catch the momentum of the energy, this is sort of a reprieve to do a quick restart with this full moon in Libra. Now, Mercury retrograde, of course, is coming up. And for some of you, you're going to be like, well, if I'm getting this restart, I'm going to be delayed because of Mercury retrograde. Yes and no. Mercury retrograde is delayed in certain areas. The reason it's delaying you is because it needs for you to fix some other things before you move to the next thing. Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to focus on things that you had on the back burner. So if you do that, there won't be a delay. Just like for me, there's a book that I need to finish writing. Mercury retrograde is going to be the perfect time to work on that book. Now, publishing the book during Mercury retrograde, probably not going to do. I'll wait till after Mercury retrograde. But working on the book during Mercury retrograde, that would be the perfect time to work on the book and go ahead and finish the book. And that's what I'm saying to you. Where if you have a project, if you were like, you know what, I've been meaning to start this business, I had looked into some stuff, whatnot, you can do that during Mercury retrograde. Now, I wouldn't necessarily start, how can I say this? I wouldn't necessarily start by opening a bank account or doing this or doing that during Mercury retrograde. But what I would do is start picking, doing the research and picking. Like, okay, for the bank account, do I want to go with Chase? Do I want to go with Bank of America? Do I want to go with the credit union? Do I want to go with whatever, an online bank? Those type of things. So you can already have the bank picked during Mercury retrograde. Okay, so now I know what bank I want to use. Okay, do I plan to sell on my own website? Do I want to set up an account with Shopify? How do I want to sell my product? And then once you figure out, okay, I'm going to use my website, what web host will I use for the website? Okay, I'm going to use such and such for web hosting. All right, next. You'll have your list made out. Then after Mercury retrograde is over, all right, you already know you're going to Bank of America. All right, you already know I'm going to go with iPower for web hosting. All right, you already know I'm doing it on my own site. I'm not using Shopify. You already know this is my supplier where I'm going to get my products. Because that's another thing too. If you're selling a product, who's going to be your supplier? Are you going to do a supplier in China, India, the United States? Where's your supplier going to come from? Do you know do you know what the cost is going to be? Do you know what your profit will be off of that? Like what are the margins on this? Those type of things you can do in Mercury retrograde. After Mercury retrograde, you can implement whatever it is you're looking to do. So don't think that Mercury retrograde is going to hold you up. It will hold you up if you focus on the wrong things. If you focus on the right things, you'll be just fine going through Mercury retrograde with momentum and pretty much a fresh start from the full moon in Libra. Because again, it's balancing things out to level the playing field. Is what the energy is doing. The things that are wrong are being made right. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Anything else we want to cover? I covered the heart of the matter. Benediction is here. Archangel Gabriel. And with benediction, this is more like empathy again. All of these are about empathy. Even, and also believing, too. Also, purple might be significant for somebody who this is resonating with. And then for this one, Archangel Michael, I am presence. This is just saying remember who you are and remember that you already sit on a throne that was given to you by the divine. And from that throne, you have to grant grace. Just as the divine would grant grace to you. Again, there's a lot of empathy in here. And I feel a lot of empathy is involved because there's a lot of conflict and truths that are going to come out over the next 30 days. Where people are going to be like, I didn't know that. And once they get the information, there's no telling how they're going to act. But, you know, it is what it is. Just, if you find out something, like let's say someone did something behind your back and then it comes out over the next 30 days. Again, at the heart of the matter, mercy. Just keep that in mind. But like I said, and I'm probably titling this, be encouraged and be curious. Meaning, keep yourself encouraged, encourage others, and also have that childlike curiosity where you want to discover new things. But empathy is going to play a huge role because information is going to be flying left and right. Secrets are going to be coming out left and right. So just be ready. All right. So that is your full moon in Libra message. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast. All of you have been so awesome. Until next time, be blessed.